Bismillahirrahmanirrahim, dear students. Today we are going to discuss some more natural disasters. So one of it is flood, and first we are going to understand what does flood means, or what is the definition of the flood. Okay, flood means when a stream or river gets more water and its channels cannot hold it and the water overflows the banks. So this condition is called flood. When there is more water, in simple words, when there is more water in a stream or a river and it cannot hold that water anymore and the water overflows the bank, so this situation is called flood. Okay, now what are the causes of the floods? The first is prolonged rainfall. Okay, if the rainfall is prolonged in some areas, and so the result is floods. And definitely the rapidly melting glacier is also one of the biggest cause of the floods. In the results of the melting of the glaciers in rapidly, and also the prolonged rainfall, the water level increases in the river or the streams due to these things. Okay. Sometimes bursting of the dams can also result in floods, because a very large amount of water can overflow the streams or the rivers. Okay, then global warming and excess of rainfall. Due to this global warming, the whole environment of the world is getting changed. The glaciers are melting in a very rapid speed, and those areas which receive less rainfall, you can see that now they can receive excess of rainfall, and some of the areas they are not getting even any rainfall. So these whole things are getting because of this global warming. It has changed the climatic conditions of so many of the places in the world. So these are the causes of the floods. Then what is the impacts of the floods? The first thing is it washes out everything which comes into its way in the way of the flood, and then it can damage the buildings, it can destroy the buildings, roads, bridges and other infrastructure. And then the next thing is, of course, the deaths can be there, like with the human casualty and livestock death. You can observe it during the floods. And desertification means that the fertile land can it can damage the fertile land. It washes out standing crops. Okay, so it is called desertification. And then destroy water supply. Of course, during the flood, as I told you, that it damages each and everything which comes into its way. So it can damage the water supply, the sewage systems and the irrigation network. And then the shortage of clean water will definitely be there whenever there is a flood. So the clean water for drinking, it is always the result of the flood is always the shortage of the clean drinking water. Contamination is one of the result of the floods, and the contamination of the water, and then it can cause different kind of diseases during the floods, because there is no clean drinking water. Most of the diseases spreads due to this shortage of the clean drinking water during the floods. Okay, then what kind of safety measures should be taken? The first thing is that all the families should know the safe route, so they can have access to the safe nearest site. Okay, they should also be careful via TV and radio for the flood warnings. If authority is issuing any warning through the TV and radio, so they should always know about this thing. Okay, you should also inform a local office which is in your area that a flood is there is a flood, and the address of the place you are evacuating. And then important things in waterproof bags. Definitely, when you know that if a warning has been issued by the authorities, and so it will be better for you to have a waterproof bags, and then you should keep your important documents, your important medicine definitely, and warm clothing, some of the warm clothing, valuable things, papers, documents, you should keep it in the waterproof bags. So you should, like, you can take it along. And then the next thing is, do not let the children to play near the flood water because it is very dangerous. Also use boiled water for drinking during the flood. As I told you that if you don't take the proper protection measures, so it can cause more difficulties for you. And be careful of the snakes, because snakes also come out in floods. And do not eat food which is there in the flood water. And if there is flood prone areas, so it will be better to construct brick walls. Mud walls can easily be damaged in the floods. Okay, then turn off main power. Turn off main power, so to avoid any casualty because of the electricity shocks. And then lock your home, your valuable things, and then you can evacuate the area. Okay, do not use any electric appliances which were in the flood water, which are damaged because of the flood water. And avoid entering flood water if, like, before you have taken any measures. So please do not enter the flood water, it is very dangerous. Okay, here these are the safety measures that I told you. These are here is an in your book, if you can see it, the floods of the July 2010 were the most disastrous flood in the history of the Pakistan. So, and it caused so many casualties, so many deaths, and the washing out of the crops, the agricultural land, and all, so severe damages to the land, property, to the life of humans. So I hope you have understood flood, what is the meaning of the flood. As I told you, the excess water in the streams of the river. What are the causes? Of course, prolonged waterfall, or due to this global warming, the melting of the glaciers, bursting of dams, and then we discuss the impacts of the floods, and then we discuss safety measures of the floods. Now the next natural disaster, cyclone. So what is a cyclone? Cyclone is a powerful spinning storm which contains wind and strong wind and rain. Okay, so what is the cause of, what is the major cause of this cyclone? Cyclone starts and they get their starts because of the hot air rises. So whenever hot air overwarm tropical area, overwarm tropical ocean water rises, and they carry moisture with it, it creates an area of low pressure. As I told you, so low pressure area is surrounded by the high pressure area. So first of all, the hot air rises and it creates a low pressure, and then the cool air rushes to that area. Okay, so it creates winds, and later it becomes a storm. Okay, so we can say that winds from the high pressure to the central low pressure area with the high speeds, it creates a cyclone. Okay, in northern hemisphere, its direction is anti-clockwise, and in southern hemisphere its direction is clockwise, because as you know it very well, because the earth rotates. Okay, it formed over the ocean and it creates a big storm. Acha, then the rotation of the earth causes storm to spin, and a cyclone is declared due to the spinning of this storm. Remember one thing, when the wind speed is greater than 120 kilometer per hour, then a cyclone is declared. The coastal belt of Pakistan is very vulnerable to these cyclones. Okay, now we are going to understand what are the impacts of these cyclones. Of course, they bring large scale damages, mostly in the coastal areas, and then it can cause damage to human life, infrastructure, agriculture, and the ecosystem, and it can cause torrential rainfall. Now, because of this torrential rainfall, the mud flows, and sometimes the landslides can be also observed. Okay, then special landslides in the nearby mountainous areas. Of course, it washes out the forest in the coastal areas, which covers the coastal areas, and then extreme erosion is also a result of the cyclones, and then it can also be the result of the result of the cyclone can be the different kinds of diseases because of the standing water. It can be diarrhea or malaria or cholera. Okay, and then what kind of safety measures are important? So first of all, you people should be aware of the cyclone or any warning or any if the authority is issuing any kind of warning, so due to TV and radio, so you must also be careful and watch TV and listen to radio for the warnings. And then you must know the safe route to get to the safest place or to take a shelter, and then do not listen to the rumors. There is no need to create a panic. Be strong. And then your important documents or papers, you should keep it in a bag so you can take it along with you. And then evacuate the area if there is a warning for the severe cyclone, so it's better to evacuate that area. Take care of the children, the women, the elderly, the sick person, and you must have the stock of the food and water, drinking clean water. And then if the building is crumbling because of the result of the cyclone, so it's better to protect yourself with the different things like mattress, blanket, or you can take shelter under a table or a bench. And then you should not go outside. You should wait till the authority declare that the cyclone is ended. And then do not assume if the wind suddenly drops, like it is ended, the cyclone is ended. You should wait for the authorities when they'll announce it, that the official announcement or official they declare that the cyclone is over, then you should go out. And then do not use wet electric appliances. Do not use electric appliances, wet electric appliances, and then you should follow the recommended rule by the officials for returning. And then be careful of the snake bites. Of course, you should be very careful of the fallen power lines, trees, buildings, bridges, or damaged bridges, or anything which is damaged. So please be careful of it. So this is the cyclone. We discussed it that cyclone is the result of the low pressure area surrounded by high pressure air, and then its direction is anti-clockwise in northern hemisphere and clockwise in southern hemisphere. It mostly formed over the ocean and becomes a storm, and the rotation of the earth causes storm to spin. And then if the wind is greater than 120 km/h, then a cyclone is declared. Then we discuss some of the impacts and some of the safety measures. And now desertification, what does it mean? It means that it is a process in which the land it is a process of the land degradation, and it is a gradual conversion of productive land into less productive land. Okay, in simple words, it is the expansion of the desert into surrounding areas. Okay, it is one of the most serious environmental and socio-economic problem of the today's world. And what are the causes of desertification? Why this land is becoming less productive gradually? So the first thing is the removal of the natural vegetation. When the human beings remove the natural vegetation, and there is one of the major cause is that this natural vegetation cover is not tried to be to grow again. So that is why one of the thing is the removal of the natural vegetation. The next is overgrazing. Now overgrazing occurs when plants are exposed to grazing without sufficient recovery period. As I told you that the removal of the natural vegetation, they don't even try to recover the natural vegetation. And then the overgrazing here too. Then one of the other point is deforestation. Okay, now this deforestation, when the forests are cleaned from the land surface, the land is also exposed to degradation. So it is also one of the causes of the desertification. And the next is waterlogging and salinity. Okay, then what is waterlogging and salinity? Of course, the rise of the underground water table, and then when the salts accumulate the land surface. So due to result of the waterlogging and the salinity, you cannot grow any crops, or that land is becoming less productive, and then it results the desertification. Okay, these are the four causes when the human beings are removing natural vegetation, overgrazing and not recovering it, deforestation, cutting of the forest, and then the water table is rising. When the water table rises under the ground, and then the salts accumulate the surface of the earth, of the land, it is called waterlogging and salinity. Okay, so all these causes results in the desertification or the land to become less productive. Okay, then what are the impacts of this desertification? The first one is that it seriously affected the development of the so many countries, so many parts of the world. 900 million people are affected, like in more than 100 countries of the world. And then it is a slow process. It is a gradual decline of vegetation cover. The first thing is that gradually it destroys the vegetation cover. And then Pakistan is also one of the country which is affected by this natural disaster desertification. Okay, now what measures should be adopted to avoid these desertification? How we can prevent the impacts of the desertification? So the first one is tree plantation. The tree plantation, of course, which is very important, that can reduce the process of the soil erosion and then the desertification. And then of course it is very good for the climate. And then overgrazing must be controlled, or it's like, in order to slow down the process of the desertification, of course the people should take care of this thing, that overgrazing is very harmful. The natural vegetation should, they should give some time to the natural vegetation to recover again. And then waterlogging and salinity can be controlled with the help of the tube wells. Irrigation, like you should irrigate the land with the help of the tube well, and it can be helpful to use the excess water which is rising under the ground, and then the salts can accumulate the land, surface of the land. And now the last topic of this chapter, it is forest fires. It is the uncontrollable fire burning in the forest areas. So what are the causes of forest fires? One is the lightning and drought. These are the natural causes. Lightning, definitely it can create fire. And then drought means the shortage, or you can say that the low rainfall for a prolonged time. It can also result in the forest fire. And the other one is the human cause and the human negligence. That it can also be started with the started by the human's negligence, and how we will discuss it here. Okay, so what are the impacts of this forest fire? Of course, it is a threat to the wildlife and the human who are living near the forests. So it is a big threat for them. And then the amber attacks. Amber attacks means, I have written it here, that when during a bushfire or the burning twigs or branches and leaves are carried by the wind in a cluster, and it can also, when these floating embers set fires to the building near the fire. So it is very harmful for the nearest buildings, or the buildings which are very near to the forest. Okay, what are the safety measures? So first of all, as I told you, the human negligence. So you should not throw any burning thing, any matchstick or any burning thing in the forest. And the second thing is, you should not leave any kind of things which can catch fire easily. And then in case of the forest fire, you should immediately report the emergency services and stay away from those areas of fire because it is very dangerous. And remember one thing, always move to the opposite direction of the wind, because Forest fire or smoke, the change in the wind direction can cause the fire to surround you. So definitely you should move to the opposite direction of the wind, so you can avoid the fire or the smoke. And then do not extinguish fire on your own. It can be very dangerous. It needs trained people. And definitely you should not throw any water on the power lines. And if the plane is going to dump water on the targeted area, so you should leave that area. And then clean the dry grass and wood, and the roofs should be made of the fire resistant material.